Hello guys, welcome back to my channel, and in this video we're going to go over the tier list update for the release of FAG Executive High Yura and Princess of the Heart Garam. Before we start with those, I wanted to quickly go through the promotional video for Wolike song Urek Mazino, and the only information we're going to get out of this promotional video is the color and the role, and that's it. But at the end of the video, I'm going to share with you what I think should be the minimum requirement for this new Urek Mazino. So I would say let's get started and look at the video, and then we're going to comment on that. The voice acting on this video is absolute garbage, from my point of view. Terrible. So this is already the information I was talking about. We have Wolike song, Urek Mazino, Blue, Fisherman, Warrior. Now, Warrior was kind of obvious, fine. For Blue, it was also expected, but I was hoping that was not going to happen. Like, my hope was for him to be yellow, and there are a few reasons for that, other than the yellow Shinsu, yellow aura, yellow everything. And the fact that we already have two blue Ureks that are warriors is the third one, which is kind of weird. But then the other reason is also that I didn't want him to be in sort of a power triangle with Gustang and Chomrei, because this means he's supposed to counter Gustang and he's supposed to lose from Chomrei, which is not something I want to see for an Urek. And yeah, that's really weird from my point of view. I think it should have been a neutral color, and purple didn't make a lot of sense. So definitely yellow was the best option, because yellow is never in a situation where you're going to deal half damage to someone else. Because even if you have like two yellow units and the enemy has three purple, so you are at a disadvantage in theory, you're still dealing 100% damage. So you are never in a situation where you deal half damage. Like you are with a blue unit against a green, you're going to deal half damage to them. So that's important to note. It's not too important on him specifically because he will have max HP damage. So again, kind of irrelevant, but still, I didn't want him to be placed in a element that had a mechanic that kind of placed him in a win and lose situation with Gustang and Chomrei. It should have been above that. And also that would have opened up the scenario of purple Luzlek to have the Luzlek and Urek fight. That might not happen. They might also just ignore the color scheme and release purple Luzlek and still do the one-on-one match. Maybe, who knows. But yeah, definitely not the element I was looking for. I'm disappointed, if I'm being honest, but at the end of the day, it is fine. Anything is better than blue Luzlek, so it's okay. And then we have some random fights. Urek versus Gustang, Urek versus Chomrei. I'm not gonna skip it. I would love to. So yeah, especially the second fight is hilarious. Like, how is Urek even supposed to fight Chomrei that he gets annihilated in no time? But obviously in the promotional video they had to make Urek win. This is crazy. But okay. Look at all of those yellow effects. Yellow lightning, yellow Shinsu. Ah, yeah, yellow aura. But fine, get blue. And now here we have an army summoned by the Hard, and it's just going to one-shot all of them. So it should have AoE map-wide max HP damage, like the other two. So, hopefully. And there it is. Should be the last animation. Pretty cool. I mean, design-wise is fine, even though the gladiator look is a bit off, but I think it's definitely better than swimsuit Urek, so I'm not gonna complain. And now, when we talk about the one thing I hope for them to implement correctly on this unit, is its base survivability. I don't want to be forced to run this unit with survivability support. It should have bare minimum the same survivability as Sharon, Hugo, Reflejo, units like those. So either an hit barrier, or hit shield, however you want to call it, or a damage taken cap. One of the two things should be in his kit, and maybe even up all the time somehow. I really want that. If they give him barrier and that's it, I will be so pissed. Like if he just walks and dies, I will be crazy pissed. Like fuming, super mad. It would be insanity on their part. I believe they will do the damage taken cap route. I think the issue is that they said this guy is going to provide survivability for the team, which means barriers are most likely. Unless he's going to give to everyone and hit barrier like Albelda does to the linked ally, maybe Urek could do it for all the teammates. Maybe a 3-hit one, and then for himself he will do a 15 one. Maybe that would be dope. But you never know with these devs. But my only requirement is this one. This guy needs to survive without relying on supports. That's all I ask. Because we already know he has max HP damage, so I'm not too worried about this damage part. But this survivability is extremely important. I don't want to see an Urek walking in and dying. That should not happen, especially when we have a random unit like Reflejo that can tank for the whole fight. That is like not acceptable to me. So they better do it right. If we get the first EX close range unit that dies in 2 seconds, I will be extremely pissed. I will say that. So let's hope they do it right. And now I would say we can jump straight into the tier list. We're going to talk first about the new units, obviously. So we're going to start with High Yura. I gave her Irregular arrow down for both the below 350 and the above 350 deficits. The main reason is that she kind of offers similar things to other units that we have here, especially Albelda with the cooldown reduction from Revolution 5. And just in general, her like survivability for the team is really good. She's a bit weird to use if you want to rely just on herself as the only support unit, because she will need to land the Fanatic contract on any enemy that can actually attack her, which means most of them for the most part. So you will need some early grouping so that you can apply the Fanatic to everybody, or you will need to keep the enemies very stuck so that she can still survive even without extra survivability. So that's one way. The other way would be to just add a survivability support. Anniversary Revolution 5 works extremely well because basically she would only waste the passive stacks on Yura herself. Everyone else would not be impacted because they would be above 30% HP thanks to Yura. Again, special move. So yeah, definitely one of the two routes, either early grouping so that Fanatic applies to everyone, or another survivability support to keep her alive. Those are the two ways to play her. Then she can support a variety of units. I think she only deserves the irregular arrow down if she's Revolution 5. If she's not, from 0 dupes to Rainbow 4, which is basically the same unit, I would give her S+, maybe S+ or up, kind of depends. But that's mainly because Revolution 5 is super good. It's going to give a 50% active skill cooldown reduction, which a lot of units love. Like Princess of the Heart loves it. If we look at Yugo, obviously loves it to keep up her shield a lot better, but you're not really going to use her with Yugo. Ray is going to love it. White, kind of. Uh, Lightning Spear Kun Machine is going to love it. Helljo, absolutely love it. Also, other units like maybe Revolution Bomb would also love it. Like a lot of units would use the active skill cooldown reduction. So that's really, really important because it's for the whole team. It's not like Albelda that is only for one unit. That's for everybody. It's really good. And it didn't feel right to give her anything less than irregular hour down. But at the same time, also as plus or up felt right. I'm thinking about adding a additional tier between irregular and S plus. Let me know if you agree with it, and if you do, let me also know some kind of names I could give to that tier. Because some units I feel like would deserve to move down and some to move up a little bit, but still not enough to go to the other tier. So I would like to lower Albelda a little bit, but I don't feel comfortable placing her in S plus. So I didn't. Also, maybe Sharon, maybe also Yura herself that I just mentioned. I think that would be better in a ranking in the middle. But yeah, again, let me know in the comments how you feel. For now, she's going to stay here, and I think she deserves it as things stand at the moment. The next unit we have to talk about is Princess of the Heart Garam, which is here. And I gave her S+. I didn't give her S+ arrow up, mainly because I did not give that ranking to Spear Baranak, and Spear Baranak has a non-removable HP recover block, which is a bit more important. Sure, the AoE is a bit smaller, so for Anak to hit all the enemies you need grouping. For Garam, that's not a problem, it's going to be applied to every single enemy. So there are these pros and cons of each. So one doesn't have it removable, but can apply it to everyone. The other one has the unremovable HP recovery block, but will require a little bit of grouping. So these are kind of the use cases. I definitely think she's an amazing unit. That's why she's an S+. And yeah, I wouldn't give her S+ or up mainly for that reason. I think she's amazing, but yeah, that's about it. The other unit I changed is SSR plus Garam. She was S plus R up before for both deficits. Now I downgraded her to S plus, mainly because when we look at the other like SSR plus and above supports, they are kind of more useful. She's on the less useful side. She's not like Data Gustang, which is relevant, but she is still maybe not providing as much and not being used as much as the others. So I wanted to place her one step below. Still, obviously, amazing support unit, but definitely might feel a bit lacking in some cases. But yeah, that's why I just wanted to decrease her a little bit. Another unit I changed is Elite Spy Xia Xia. She was S plus before. I downgraded her, I think, a couple of patches back. Now I moved her up again because, well, one, she actually deserved it. But second, also Runda helped quite a lot, I think, because it works extremely well with her. She doesn't need extra ability from Bari. And the extra energy provided is going to be really good because whenever she uses the special move, you have a 2-second invincibility, which means at the very least 200 energy guaranteed for the same row, like for all the units on the same row, which is great. So I think in general, this is basically a Revolution 5 Garam for Elite Spy Xia Xia. So to me, really valuable. I think she definitely has that like additional value now with the buff of Runda. So I wanted to highlight that and give her a ranking increase. Then next up we have Narae, which I moved down from S plus arrow down for both deficits to S arrow up. The reason for this is that, again, as more and more SSR plus supports are being released and are extremely good, her value is slowly decreasing. She has a single target invincibility, which is a bit RNG. You're not going to cast it on the unit that you want to cast it on. And also the buffs she provides are becoming less and less valuable. Like the extra energy is for sure nice, but we now have some other options. And also Ruined as well kind of made her less relevant, if we may say so. So I decided to give her a lower ranking for that reason. We have a lot of ways to generate energy now. The rest of our kit is a bit lacking. So I think S plus was not fair anymore. I lowered that to S. Still, amazing unit, but just know that maybe now you have way better options. Then I made a change to both Kaisers. So I'm going to talk about both of them at the same time. For the below 350, I moved them from S plus to S. And then for the for the above 350, I moved them from S arrow up to S arrow down. The reason for this is that they did not receive as many buffs as the other DPS options with the ignition weapon buffs, because L sure can be used on both of them, but they're going to lose out on a bit too much damage. And even if they don't lose out on too much damage, their damage is still too single target for it to be really worth playing. They're great together, sure. You can make them work, yes, but they feel lacking compared to the other DPS options that we have in the higher tier. So I decided to lower it just a little bit. And yeah, that's it for both Kaisers. The next unit I downgraded is Evankhell. I moved her down from S to A plus for the below 350, and then from, I believe it was S arrow down, yes, to A plus arrow down for the above 350. The reason also here is fairly simple, because the red element resistance decrease is not too important to the two best DPS units in red, which are Cherila and Gustang. They both deal max HP damage, so I don't really care about that. And the 90% HP recovery block is a bit low, especially when you're facing Xia Xia and those kind of units. They heal so much, just the 10% is enough. So I don't know, not that big of a fan of Evankhell anymore. She can still be used, she's still valuable, but not as much as she used to. So even as a support, it didn't feel right to place her in the same category as units like Anna, David, Kunagero, etc. So I downgraded her. I think it's fair. So that's it. Then for the next unit, we have Teenage Mercenary Ijin Yu. And this guy I only slightly downgraded from S arrow up to S for the below 350, and from S to S arrow down for the above 350. The reason is fairly simple, because his durability is lacking. He only has evasion buffs and not much else. And his utility is a bit limited. He has good stuff, like he has energy decrease and HP recovery block, but that's single target. So not a big fan of. His damage is kind of non-existent, like unless you are playing at very low deficits. So he's kind of in a weird spot. I think he's losing value as more and more units are released. So I think really not the best like unit to have. So yeah, I'm slowly decreasing him. I'm expecting to place him to A plus in the next patches. We'll see. For now, he's still in S, but definitely going down. Then we have, just for the below 350 deficit, Irregular Urek Mazino. Before he had S, I gave him S arrow up, and that's it. There is really no other change. For above 350 is exactly the same. For below 350, I only did this because of Runda. Runda works extremely well with him, and at this deficit, it will survive no problem and provide a lot of utility to your team. So really good, but then as you increase the deficit, it's gonna explode. So no really a lot of value out of it. Next up, we have Awakened Rock. I gave him just a slight increase from A plus to A plus or up, and then from A plus or down to A plus for the above 350. And that's also pretty self-explanatory. This guy survives well, and Runda helped him a bit because he's going to synergize well with his passive. You have more HP, which means less units are going to damage you. And overall, I think it's decent. He's a usable unit now, but nothing exceptional, nothing worth S. So I left him in A+. Next unit, we have Icarus. I also increased the ranking from A plus arrow down to A plus arrow up in the below 350. I think she deserves it now with Yura and all the cooldown reduction she can provide. She is fine. The defense is also usable at this deficit, not so much in the above 350, but still decent, I would say. And definitely comparable to other options we have here, maybe even better. That's why she has the arrow up. So yeah, definitely didn't feel right to have her in A. I think A plus is a lot better for her. And also in the above 350, I again increased the ranking. She will be less valuable at this point, but still the cooldown reduction can make the difference at times. So I like it. I don't really use her a lot, but every now and then I do deploy her. So it's okay. Is a decent unit, definitely usable. And last on the list we have Data Gustang. I moved him from A plus arrow up to A plus arrow down in both deficits. The reason is that like the other SR plus support are just leagues above him. He cannot do much. Debuff removal, swiftness increase and decrease, and that's about it. It's really a bit disappointing. So yeah, I was also thinking of placing him in A, but then I looked at the units we have in A. It didn't really feel right either. So yeah, for now I just decreased it to the minimum possible in A+. And that's about it. Let me know in the comments how you feel about these rankings, if you would change anything. If you have any additional consideration, I will make sure to check them all out. And yeah, last thing I have to mention is the future-proof ranking. So for High Yura, I gave her always super valuable, which is the highest one. And for Prince of the Hard Garam, I gave her will stay useful. So that's kind of the idea. Yura has a very peculiar kit that will never go out of meta, I think, or very hard to replace. And the other one, I think it's good, but I didn't want to give her like the always super valuable because definitely like there are going to be scenarios where she's not going to do much. And we're also going to get more and more units with HP recovery block and maybe some more. So I don't know. I feel like there are going to be alternatives sooner or later. So she's not like a cut above the other. She's just okay-ish, good, always valuable. You can always use her. She will be power crept, sure, but she's still going to retain her value and usability, I think. And that's about it, guys. Let me know again in the comments how you feel about all of this, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!